I like the charisma of. I think a lot of it has to do with the actor. I think that the actor did an incredible job. He had a lot of charisma. He's a very charismatic guy, and it's like fighting. A lot of the most popular fighter are popular because of their charisma.
Yes.
Sometimes it has to do with their performance, but it has to do way more with their charisma. If you have a good charisma, you're gonna sell the fight. Not either if you win or lose. If you have a good charisma, that's what sells, my friend.
And for a long time, we heard about GSP Anderson Silva's super fight. Now that he's fighting at middleweight, is that still possible, or do you think the time for that is past?
Ooh.
It is possible. Look, the truth is this, and it is the truth. The only time I've been offered to fight Anderson Silva formally, like a real offer, was after my fight with Johnny Hendricks when I retired. But it's not because it was Anderson Silva. I would not have fought nobody. You would have fought a midget of 3 foot tall. I would not even fought him. I wouldn't want to fight. I was tired. I needed to take time off. There is talk. We talk about Anderson Silva many times with Lorenzo and Dana. And what I wanted to do at the time, it was a big lineup of contender in my division. And what I wanted to do, if I would have fought him at the time, because I had to defend my title too, I would have done a catch weight, 177 with VADA, because VADA USADA was not in place back then, and I wanted to do the VADA testing for a performance enhancing drug, but they didn't like. I think the UFC didn't really like the idea at the time. But then after I had to fight other guys, after I blew up my ACL, then a lot of guys were waiting for me to come back. Then I didn't have a time to stop. I didn't have the opportunity to.
Well, and George, how do you feel that USADA has done cleaning up the sport?
It's better than it was, but I believe USADA. The system of USADA is made to catch guy on a long term, not on a short term. It's made to catch a guy on a long term. VADA, it's made to catch guy on a short term, not on a long term. You understand that?
Yeah. What's the difference?
Some system is made to catch a guy on the long term, like USADA, because the way they take the blood and so it's good too. It's just different system.
And what's the difference in the other testing that catches you on the short term? How do they do that?
The VADA, they're going to test for certain things. It's like every sport demands different physicality. For example, if you're a guy that do Tour de France, like a bicycle, you're going to use substance like EPO and stuff like that they're going to test it for certain stuff. It's mandatory. For example, if you're a sprinter, you're going to use some drug that's going to increase your explosion, your reaction time. So in fighting, for instance, it's a lot of stuff for testosterone they use, the guy. We know it. It's not a secret. We know it. So we know that they're going to test. It's mandatory that we can tell they're going to test for testosterone and boosting for the testosterone for synthetic drug, certain synthetic drug. But USADA, you don't know. You don't know if they test for that, or you don't know if they test for weed or for cocaine. I personally don't care if my opponent smoke a joint before the fight. I hope he actually does, because it's going to help me. I care if he takes testosterone, EPO, and stuff like that. That's what I care about.
Now, let me ask you, George, are you going to be spending a lot of time in the city with John Danaher? How important is John Danaher going to be in this camp? Because that guy I call him the evil genius. He really is got a unique mind, and I know he plays such a role. Are you going to be here in the city a lot?
I call him Supreme Master.
The guy's brilliant.
Like in Star Wars.
Yes, exactly.
No, I'll be there like every month. I come very often drilling. Training with the squad,
Yes, definitely. Well, listen, I can't wait. We're going to have, before the fight, when is the fight scheduled? Do we know?
Has no dates been announced,
date.
Right?
All right.
Are you looking towards maybe the summer? I'm guessing are they going to use that as the bigger?
I believe will be more after the summer. I believe will be more after the summer, because I need to gain some weight. A lot of things I need to do through the USADA. A lot of stuff need to be done before. So I'm gonna start right now a diet. I'm waiting to have the program. I'm gonna try to gain as much weight as possible. I might be able to gain 5-10 pounds of muscle mass. We'll see. And yeah, so I want to make it right. You know, it's a new turnaround for my career. I want to make it right. I want to make history. I'm planning to do it well. Fighting is not about who got the biggest balls. It's not about that. Sometimes it's about choice that you make in your life and things like that. You know, it's not about who make the more noise. By fighting, if you want to be successful in this racket, you need to be smart and do the right choice at the right time.
Was and before we let you go, what was Bisping your first choice of a fight, or were there other options that were kind of put before you and you chose Bisping?
I wanted to fight Tyron Woodley at one time, but he got scheduled to fight Wonderboy. Even Tyron put some text message between. I don't know why he put the text message between me and I talking, because he texted me, said, "Would you fight me?" I said, "Yes, I would fight you." But then he put it in public, and people were like criticizing, "Oh yeah, they tried to make up a fight. They friend." I'm like, "I'm not friend. We just, you know." He asked me. He had my number. He asked me if I want to fight him. I said, "Yeah, I would fight him." But then it didn't work out. Wonderboy is a friend of mine, good friend of mine. He stepped in and he had the fight, so I was very happy for him. And I thought it was a great opportunity. So I said, you know what? He's going for a welterweight title. I'm going to go for a middleweight title.
What did you think of the Woodley Thompson fight? It was a bit of a controversial decision. People kind of split down the middle how they felt it went. What did you think?
So where I was, we were six guys watching the fight. We all thought Wonderboy won 3 of the 5 rounds. But the round that have been win the more decisively is the one that Tyron Woodley won. So it could go either way, you know, the way, depend the way you see it. For sure, Wonderboy is a friend of mine, so I see every round, when it goes decision, I see every round like a new fight. Every round is like a fight. I believe Wonderboy won 3 fights in 3 of those 5 fights. But the one that Tyron Woodley won was very decisive.
Yeah, and also I think the other round he won is when he had him on the ground too. So any damage inflicted seemed to be done by Woodley.
Yes, exactly.
Well, we're really psyched that you're back, and you sound great. Like, you sound really ready to go, and you sound very mentally healthy. So come in and see us. We would love to have you in studio when you're in New York. We're here twice a week.
Definitely, man. Or maybe I'll see you down at Henzo's too. I'll be popping in over there too, George.
Awesome, man. Take good care, man, and I'm glad talking to you guys. Sorry again for I'm late, man. I really apologize.
Don't apologize, buddy. Thank you so much for talking, Georgie. I'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Take care, buddy.
What a nice guy.
He's always a nice guy.
But he sounds very healthy mentally.
It always bothered me when people would it was like it was like a compliment, but then I love you and I hate that Canadian. I'm like, yo, come. And this is him. This is George. He's been like that from day one. He's just been a nice dude.
Well, I was the one who said that I don't need to see him fight again. But after hearing the way he sounds right now, he sounds really great and very, very clear. Like, now I really want to see him fight.
I thought that was very interesting when he brought up how because John Danaher's the guys are we're going to have him in here when you're in here.
Yeah.
You'll pick up
I
on
may
it
have to
right
go in
away.
there and train with John Danaher.
Yeah.
I've never taken a class in my life. But show me how to leg lock real quick, John.
Yeah, the guy's got one of the best minds on the planet for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
For advanced Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he could bring up a white belt. I mean, he could bring.
Sure.
Like I was it was funny if you listen to the episode with him in here. We were discussing jiu-jitsu, and he was saying that if he had his own curriculum from day one, he wouldn't even teach them because he's known for his leg locks. That especially lately, because his guys are killing it. His guy Gordon. Oh shit! Fuck, what the hell's Gordon?
Commissioner?
No, man. I know the guy.
Gordon Jump from
my
WKRP
God.
in Cincinnati.
What's Gordon that just won the EBI last night? Holy shit, man! Gordon loves jiu-jitsu. Gordon Ryan. I don't believe I had that brain fart because the guy's a known guy. He just won the EBI that's on the UFC Fight Pass, by the way, and he just won that thing. And he didn't even win with leg locks. I believe he won with strangles. The guy, no, John could make a complete. He's phenomenal. But again, he is a huge part of George's camp because he really is like the mastermind in there, and he gets he's so smart with getting the fight to the floor and without taking damage. That's why George gets a lot of shit because he leaves these fights clean. But it's not like he gets the guy down and holds him. He's getting him down. He's beating him up. Sometimes the guy will get back up and then he'll do it again. It's up for these guys to stop him.
And by the way, there is a point that he raised, a great point about the boxing. I hadn't thought of that. I didn't realize they did that. But why not to keep guys a little bit healthier?
What's that?
With the weighing in a month before?
Yeah.
Because the weight thing seems to me like it's up to the individual fighter to not do that to himself. But I guess it's hard when you know you're fighting somebody who's 20 pounds heavier than you. But I asked Stephen when he was in, is it more? And I remember the clumsy question. I tripped over like a dopey fruit. But is it more advantageous to fight somebody at your natural weight who happens to be heavier than you, who has had to weight cut, or where you're fresher? And to me, it seems like with Khabib, it's a bigger advantage to fight somebody who at your own weight.
Yeah, well, Frankie did that for years. That was what his advantage was. He wasn't cutting any weight when he was fighting at lightweight.
Yeah, if you got to cut 5 pounds a week of, all right, 3 pounds.